This is the What I Need podcast, a shared journey exploring topics of society, spirituality, and even ways of being. Here, we speak freely and fully, from the heart and the conscious mind, in hopes to find what we need. Thank you, for your time is valuable and you could have been anywhere else in the universe. All of you are welcomed and appreciated here.
Welcome to the What I Need podcast. This is your host, Karlton. This is an episode I'm actually reshooting really quick. So I wasn't expecting to do that, but also whatever. Welcome to my room. So new little setup in my room. Let me see if I can I make that more? It was already cool. So see, sometimes we need to just trust the process, that our processes are already in function and already working together for our highest good, especially if you're taking the time to build one. So let's get into the episode. This is the What I Need podcast, hosted by King Karlton. And yeah, we're out here in these Spotify streets. So the purpose of this is why I'm sort of mad, but again, we're going to get through. I'm going to trust the process and that this is going to be a worthwhile episode, and we'll see what happens at the end of that. Okay, so the purpose of process. Let's first define what a process is. Like many processes, I like to start mine off with a deep breath. Definition of a process: a series of actions or steps taken to achieve an end. Types of processes may be a business process, personal, creative, spiritual, relationships too. Oftentimes we're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to get somewhere in a vehicle. We're trying to get somewhere by walking. We're trying to get somewhere by route. We're trying to get somewhere usually with some sort of instruction that comes with the assignment, or that comes with the direction. And a lot of times in more personal atmospheres, or I guess in more personal atmospheres, we forego processes thinking we're going to get to a place with the most ease, with the fastest route. And let me take my headphones off because we know it's sounding good. So we are trying to, I think that's what was messing me up. Even though it's cool. I think as somebody that does radio show, podcast, talking a lot, and musicianship. Come on, let's not lie. Us musicians, we love hearing our own voice. So humbly, but anyway, we're trying to get somewhere personally. Maybe it's more self-confidence. Maybe it's more money. Maybe it's more peace, more positive mindset, because sometimes we're stressed out, anxietied out, worried, doubting. Those things are not pushing you towards highest good. Those latter things I mentioned, the fear, doubts, worries, anxieties, depressions, those they seem to have this automatic process which goes down so easy for those things. Shutting yourself out from doing what you usually do, decrease productivity, decrease happiness, So oftentimes when we're in those, and it's okay to be there at times, it's okay to, you're going to have trouble in life. Someone once said that. And all that is for you to take those lessons and kind of expound upon them and overcome them, triumphant over them, because that's going to be a lot of your lessons in life. That's going to be what you know. That's going to be what you've experienced and what you know. So um I'm just going to list off into these: efficiency, consistency, scalability. Let's discuss the essence of how processes literally build a stairway to goals, share personal experience, um, and I'm going to use this year's affirmations as also a way that I feel like I've had a really decent, productive year. So processes, processes accrue efficiency, they accrue consistency and scalability. How do they do that? So in the book, Atomic Habits, so that was a read of this year, it posed a question: if you were to increase 1% a day in productivity, just by 1%, you would in fact be improving whatever it is that you do incrementally, substantially at the point of the end of a year. So in January, you want to reach out to, let's say, so I do photography, videography, freelance. I want to reach out to at least one person a day saying, something about my company, pitching to them straight up. I have this available. Are you able to, are you not even able to, what do you need? Oh, okay. You need these things that, goods and services that I have. Okay, let's work something out. That this is happening because we are trying to generate an income. We are trying to do a business, entrepreneurship. That's a very instrumental part of entrepreneurship as well. Is chasing, is motivated in a motivated way. And I don't like to say chasing, but at the same time, when we're talking about hustle, when we're talking about really getting to it, getting to your abundance and getting to your bag, yeah, get out there and chase it like you want it. What does that produce when you now make that a part of your process? I'm going to act like the bag is mine. I need a bag. I'm going to act like the bag is mine. I have the bag. So we have an affirmation right there. You can break, and then you break down your affirmations as well. What does I have the bag correlate to? I am waking up on time. I am showing up to meetings on time. I am following up with at least one customer a day. So at the end of this 12-month period where you have intentionalized increase, where you have action increased by doing being impeccable with your words, so you're doing what you have requested of yourself, there's almost no way to not see an increase to what it is you're trying to do. And I think as we reflect meditation here, with the meditation with Karlton, the other podcast, not a different person, just another podcast. So I just want to reiterate that, but we do have two podcasts. It's What I Need podcast and Meditation with Karlton. So as we, that podcast is a lot softer, I feel like, because it's about meditation. So we don't care about money and stuff over there. Over here, I'm talking about kind of more all of it. So being accountable to your word while you're doing your affirmations, I'm sorry, but this is the part of spirituality where you don't get a participation grade. You do not get a participation grade. If you did not participate, you're not even getting anything back. The universe is going to be like, We didn't see any. Did you do something? Oh, you were just sitting there affirming it. So the likelihood, the likelihood of that occurrence, if we have thoughts, actions, and then we'll say intention, you know, third. So we have 33, 33, 33 coincidentally. Um, you have a 33% chance of, stuff possibly happening, I suppose, universally. If you are actioning and you're thinking and bringing your forward thoughts to those, you should have dang near 100% chance making some kind of process, intending on it, thinking about that, your forward conscious thought and your actions. I've woken up and gone to this job 100%. I've woken up and gone to this client meeting. I've woken up and started messaging clients as soon as I have my first hour out of bed without my phone, of course. Um, mm, I'm meditating and visualizing my day before I go into my day, because I know in previous journals, wow, that was a freaking great day. Or at least if something did happen, it didn't completely knock me off my square because I've put myself in a good mental position. These are my processes. And even that's one thing I had in my journal the other day, my meditation journal. Whatever, I don't have to show it. It's on my bed. My meditation journal, I was writing down, I'm like, morning meditations are so important. I'm like, and it's important in the morning, because what are you doing? You're already preparation in your mind for peace and stability, your vibration, energy, body. I mean, there's a lot of, even if you don't know about all those things, it's not about so deeply knowing about all of them. Of course, more research and more knowledge and more fact in your life is always, your reality is going to appreciate fact in your life. And being like something you utilize as another vehicle to maneuver it does appreciate that. You're setting yourself up for success basically in the morning with doing morning meditations. I express that to myself in my journal. I'm like, this day was much more quality than the days that there was no meditation in the morning, where I had to get up and rush out, where I had the alarm clock didn't go off or I didn't set it. Which one do you want? That's what we're all at. That's what we're all asking ourselves on a daily basis when we live. Do I want to show up and work? Do I want to show up to work early because I can, make a couple extra bucks? Do I want to leave work late and work over 40 hours, get some overtime? I really want to buy FL Studio so I can get back to making beats. So it's not just going into you. Let me expand that. I want to get FL Studio so I can continue making music, produce beats for artists, have another possible stream of income, another 100% joy situation to engage with. How badly do we want to get there? Those are my personal things. It's not just about me. How do we want to get there? How do we want those little wants and desires to live life in the way that we think is the fullest? I like music. Maybe somebody likes fitness, but they're not doing it. Maybe somebody used to be um a beauty queen pageant. Maybe somebody used to do drag and they used to just slay and be killer at it, and they don't do it anymore. They've hung up all their wigs and honey, the gowns, they're just collecting dust. Whatever you want to be. I don't judge. I don't, that's your business. And, you're getting to that, you're getting to that, place is also your business. So we'll just go ahead on and digress into segment 3, challenges and limitations, resistance to change, overly rigid processes, insufficient and outdated processes, balancing structure and flexibility. So let me jump into this. And it's so funny because I literally just had a mentorship with my brother, and um he he has a cafe business. I've talked about them on the show several times. So we basically went over some processes that was really helpful today. And it's so funny that I'm like refilming this episode. But I'm also being mentored on this. So yeah, let me continue passing this on. And I think this is also a little bit more conceptual too than what I've gotten a chance to yet experience in my mentorships, because we just started. I have 2. Um and that's another part of entrepreneurship. You definitely, once you get your flow going, maybe you've gotten out there. I'm so sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Um you've gotten out there and you have kind of got your foot in the door with things, you have something going. There's always a stage where you want to increase that. And having individuals that personally that are already successful, you have to take advantage of that access. And it's a really great way to pass, gratitude. And I think those type of things with those possibilities. So um always be looking out for your greatest opportunities. Let me get back to what I was saying here. Limited limitations and challenges. So resistance to change. Let me piggyback off of the mentorships. I've been a CEO since 2018. I've already made money. Resistance to change. Humble yourself and get the rest of what you need. If you're not already making, I guess if you're not making the amount of money, if you're not finding the job you want, if you're not, if your processes haven't worked, change it. If you're not in the place right now, you're listening to this. If you're not in the place that you want to be, you may need to change something. That's already people that are richer than me. That's already people that may need to do a little bit more. And it has nothing to do with, it really has nothing to do with what we have in the bank. It has nothing to do with even maybe knowledge we have in our head. The resistance to change is sometimes emotional, and it's like an emotion that you can address, and then you can be like, you know what, I do want to stop smoking cigarettes, but I want to not give a bleep what, because I don't feel like editing. So I'm gonna try to stop cussing on the show at all. Anyway, I shouldn't be cussing, no way. Whatever. So yeah, resistance to change. Maybe you want to not give a heck what somebody thinks about you smoking, and you're making it, you've compartmentalized it to authoritarian issue with authority rather than your health. Maybe you just don't want to approach having a different routine. You like to have coffee and smoke a cigarette. You like to smoke before you eat. You just like to do it all the time. It's not a good enough reason to resist the change. Observe it in meditation. Overly rigid processes. Okay, so another example from the mentorship this morning. So see, it wasn't a trailing off. I always bring it back around. I think we had set a goal. We had set a amount that I wanted to make in the next year. And this also goes into affirming, So again, it touches back into spiritual concepts and why we discuss it on the show. But overly rigid processes. I wanted to make a certain amount of money. That amount of money, upon thinking about like, what do I need? What do I need? Um, right now. And what I feel like I need personally is just personal autonomy and personal sustainability, all needs met, and then a little bit of wiggle room for music and entrepreneuring my business. The amount that I had put was like the LA lifestyle that I was living in 2022. I don't need that much money. I don't need that much money because I don't need that much work. I don't need that much work because I don't need that much stress. I don't need that much stress because I want to feel good. So feelings, the resistance to change could be a feeling. Overly rigid process could be um, are you trying to keep up with the Joneses? Who are you being rigid for? So check that in your challenges and limitations in trusting the process. Inefficient, or outdated processes. What has not worked? Every day I try to leave for work at this time, I keep getting to work late. They're talking about firing me. I'm not working right now. Well, I am working, but I'm not on a W-2, somebody else's thing just yet. I will be though. No shade to that, but that's why we also mention entrepreneurship. So, no shade. So yeah, that whatever time frame, analyze that. Look at that. But people say I want to get to the bag. We're affirming I have the bag. Do you? Do we? Okay. So we want to be real about it because we really want to get to the bag. We really want to get to this success. I I don't care as much about the bag. I'm more of an experience driven person, but this is America. Don't catch you slipping up. Okay. Um, balance and structure. Balancing structure and flexibility. Okay, so processes again. Talking about the rigid processes that we can sometimes make for ourselves. If it's just not working exponentially and it's not because a process really needs to be able to follow its through and through, at a certain percentile. We really want 99.9%. You did everything you said. If we're trying to create a kingdom of heaven, if we're trying to bring heaven to earth, again, for agreements, impeccability with your word produce heaven on earth. Why does it? Why does it? Because you get everything you want because you have put in order action and reaction for that to occur. I mean, you have a higher chance again out of actions, thoughts, and feelings or intentions. That 33%, 33. Where's our alignment within that? And I go back to that just because it's true. And that's literally if we look up a lot of content that's talking about what creates our reality, you will always see it's focused around those three: our thoughts, actions, and then it's like intentions or feelings or something like that. You want to check on all three of those. 60,000 thoughts running through your head a day. What are you thinking? Um 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with them? Intentions. Where is your intention coming from? High intention, low intention, no intention at all? Oh, I'm just doing it. I just go to work. Why you go to work? What do you intend to? So you go to work to make money. What are you intending with the money? You intend just to pay your bills, just your phone bill, just the rent, and then whatever other bills. So we don't go to work because we intend to pay our bills. We go to work because we have to pay our bills. We go to work because we intend on opening a business. We go to work because we intend on buying something for buying a gift for a girlfriend or boyfriend because you want to show how much you love them. You want to make sure they're cared for, whatever, take them out. You go to work because you intend on being able to live life the way you want to live life. That's where you go to work. That's what you intend. That's like an intention for work. It's not, don't tie intention for money, I think, in sustenance to, I have to pay my bills. That's like a stress wheel. That's like a stress cycle. I have to pay my bills. I have to go to work. I have to pay my bills. I have to go to work. I have to pay my bills. You hate work. You're not that fond of work. You're not that fond of them damn bills. So you're not fond of work. So I oftentimes have blast at jobs that I worked. I always it's been a while, unless it's just the environment that's shitty. Ooh, damn. Unless it's just the environment that is poor quality, maybe poor company. I'm having a blast at work. I'm getting paid. So, and that's been the last few jobs. Like I intend all my jobs to be, I'm having a blast and I'm getting paid. And that's also another reason, start your company. Or just whatever, gig work, sole proprietorship, use your skills. Segment 4, we're doing pretty good. Implementing and optimizing process, identifying areas for process improvement, designing and documenting process, training yourself, and it says training and onboarding. Sorry, these are notes. Continuous evaluation and reframement, tools and resources for process management. Okay, so go over these. I mean, I did cultivate these notes, but I'm going to plead the fifth on whether AI was included or not. We need to utilize that resource before it utilizes us. So, it actually already is. Never mind. Okay, so of course it is. What is it pulling its content from? So, identifying areas for process improvement. So, I mentioned that getting to work late situation is simple, and this is a real problem for some. Um, I also am sure to find jobs where I have flexibility with that, because if that's an issue if it happens to be an issue for you, you need to find a job where it's you can come in. Maybe it's a certain job you can come in up to 30 minutes, flexible schedule, and you can leave. Maybe you can leave an hour after you were supposed to leave and get some overtime. There's jobs like that. There's jobs like that where they're not. If that's a problem for you, come from beyond the problem. Now, a corporate American, die hard, they are not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you something else. There's jobs that can fit you, what you need. You're trying to find what you need, not what they need. That's the name of this podcast. What you need, what I need, not what they need. They have listed very clearly what they need. Everything short of your soul. Maybe that too. So, okay, maybe that's too far, but maybe not. Defining areas. I want you to be happy. Let me just say that. I want you to be happy. That's why I'm going hard. So, identifying areas for that improvement. So let's say, you are in that 9 to 5. It's just regular. You have to be there at 5 a.m. or something crazy. You're gonna have to wake up at 4. I actually had a situation like this somewhat recently, or earlier this year. One of the first jobs I got was, I think I had to be to work at 7:30, and for me, I'm like a 9:30, 10 type of, like, I'm finding a job like that. Period. Or I'm finding a job that starts at night. I'm not doing all that. But I'm gonna get some money. That's how I think we should think as American people, because we're talking about an American dream. What's your dream, baby? What's the dream? Are you dreaming or are you subduing? So, um, I mean, don't short yourself. We're around so many different options. We do have options. We have an abundance of options. So anywho, if you can't make it to the job on time, you either need to adjust your sleep schedule, or you need to get up early. You need to adjust your sleep schedule. Observe the problem and observe it for what it is. It's not a self judgment. We know you're not getting there on time. If you know, so there is not really about a judgment or somebody in the background nagging you about that. You again observe it in meditation. You observe it in your journaling. That's another process. It's saying design documenting process. Journal. People say, "Oh, I don't have something to journal about. I don't. When I get my journal out, I don't know what to write about." Um, I was in a like a study, and I do that sometimes. I put myself in studies when available, and see. I check out what they're studying. And that's something a lot of people don't know about me, but I've done that like a couple times. So anyway, in this study, it encourages people to journal, um, not from a perspective of emotion. Oh, I'm feeling this way today, and I just don't like when such and such. Not from a standpoint of that. Just literally what happened. I woke up today at 8:30. I was able to make breakfast, or not able, I made breakfast. And you take out you take out a lot of the context. It's not about anything emotional. You just write your day. I went to the gas station, got gas. From there, blah, blah, blah. And they would have us do this, or they would have the studies. I don't know. They would have the studies, write. I think it was for like something like 10 to 15 minutes. Just write with as much detail. That's what it was. Write with as much detail as you can your day. Functionally. There we go. Functionally, not emotionally. So there is never a I don't know what to write about in your journals. So that's also a good tip for you, especially those. So journaling is for so many different purposes. There can be emotional journaling. I have 3 journals at any given time. Right now, I have a meditation journal. I have a personal and like memoir style journal that lives in the same one journal, and I have a business journal where I journal about what's going on with my clients, what's going on in the world of each of my clients and our relationship. Briefly, like, hey, it's been good, blah blah blah, or such and such was giving feedback about this, such and such seemed disappointed. I'm going to make sure that this and this and that is delivered by this time, and follow up with how they feel. Business journal. Why? Because we said we're going to get to the bag. If you're not invested in documenting your relationship with your clients closely, so many times I have written down, and I have a small clientele. I work with 2 to 4 people at a time. And I rarely work with 4. I'm usually working with 2. So yeah, I have time to journal about those interactions, because what I found is I'm writing down more closely things that I want to critique myself on. Maybe I've told somebody there's a certain turnaround time, and I've kept in contact if it had gone over. But then I'm like, well, it went over, and that actually took time away from me on a day that I was supposed to go to the movies or something. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking I have a project that's due, and I did communicate this morning with such and such that, the edited photos would drop this morning, the recap video would drop this, whatever. It's communicated that it's not coming out until later. However, that's in the back, like that's in the back of my mind. So I write down that, it didn't affect my money. It didn't affect this or that, but I had this in the back of my mind at the movies, and I wasn't fully present with my date or whatever. Now you have impeded on your own clear-headedness. And this is just a, again, example of a scenario that's not even real, but could easily be, because those are the kind of ways I think. And definitely having work on the table that's not done, having work and cash on the table, because that's a lot of my projects, that's the way it is. And for a videographer, for a lot of creatives, you get paid on delivery, or you get paid when a product is finished. So when products are not finished, that's cash on the table, that's reputation there. You start journaling about these things, you start figuring out a lot of stuff on your own, so you can self-teach, but you have to self-research, you have to self-document, or else who's keeping track of anything? You're just like, oh, it's great, like, or it's not great, or what's going on. Again, there's no process in place. There's no process that's in place. There's no order in what's being done. So the less order, the more, I guess, aloof, chaotic, and then all the other things can slip in. We need to trust the process. Tools and resources for process management. That's why I got a mentor as well. So that's why I got two mentors, which is like a don't go higher than this number type thing. And then one is female, one is male. So, and I would suggest that for people too. I mean, I do stuff like that naturally. Just get both perspectives. If you really want, do you really want to know what women are thinking if you're a man? Do you really want to know what men are thinking if you're a woman? You're trying to do business, right? I guess it also depends on what your niche is and what you do. But tools. So those tools and resources. What else am I doing? I have the journal. I feel like the business journal goes hard because I wasn't doing that before at all. And again, the amount of self-feedback and self-reflection, that's what it is too. Self-reflection you have on what you do, you are able to make refinements. Okay, so I need to step up in these meetings with a media team I'm on, because you've been doing media since 2018. This is your job more oftentimes. So you want to get this thing on and popping. You may have to be the one to step up. You feel like it's not, maybe you feel like it's not moving at the pace that it can really pop off not only for you, pop off for the highest good of everybody. This person getting more work, that person creating job security, you creating job security, and you increasing yourself. Step up, say what you know, then put yourself in a leadership position. Now you've put yourself, so now there's mentorship, but you put yourself in a leadership position. This is starting to be a part of your weekly routine. So this now is becoming the process, quality of work is increasing. Self-confidence is increasing. Naturally, per purpose. No purpose, I guess I should have made like sides. No purpose. Sorry, not no purpose, but you don't want to go there either. No process. Reference the Power of Purpose episode with my yelling ass throughout the whole time. So you have if we have no process, you have kind of no confirmation on any of those things. You have process, you have confirmation up and down, data, recollections, all that stuff. So what is this episode for? This episode is to encourage you guys, myself, because all of my episodes too, they are self accounts. So sometimes I come back, I listen to it, and I remind myself, oh duh, this week you're not trusting the process. You had just did things, and you felt like the week was kind of all over the place. Well, of course it was. There was no process to it. You just jumped out there as a ADH Khadidra patient. No, as an ADH Contagia patient, HD. I need processes. Not even just one. I might need multiple processes, but at least if there's certain things I can put, if there's at least 2 or 3 things that, is a mainstay in life. So self-care, there's a process. Working with business, there's a process. At least those 2 things, If you feel all over the place, find in your life, go into meditation, and ask that question: where could I institute a process in my life or lifestyle, in my life and lifestyle, that would be beneficial to me? And just sit. And I do feel like that question will be answered. It will go ahead and you will go ahead and answer your own question through stillness and just literally pondering it and letting everything else for the moment be at the wayside. The answer will pop up. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode. I thank you guys so much for joining us on the podcast today. I hope it hasn't been too all over the place. Maybe, I've tried to institute a process today with having notes, but well, maybe there's no but. I always get to the end of these episodes and I'm thinking like it was excruciating, and then I listen back to it and I'm like, it really wasn't. So I hope you have a inspired spirit and a courageous heart now going into whatever is next for you. And that listening to this episode hopefully makes you feel like you are not alone in, in way of getting up, in way of finding your highest good, in ways of progress. You have to start somewhere. So from wherever you are, whatever you're going through at this time, start thinking that I have to start somewhere. And that's fine. If I start right now where I'm at a place of peace, where I have enough peace to listen to this, what can happen? Thank you for listening to the What I Need podcast. This has been your host, King Karlton. We up out here.